Nobody wakes up and says, I want to be addicted to lust. But one day, you're 10 clicks deep into a fantasy you don't even enjoy, and you realize you're not chasing pleasure, you're running from pain. As a child, intimacy was pure holding hands, giggling on school benches, glancing too long and blushing harder, but somewhere between puberty and pixels, that innocence was buried under algorithms and high-speed internet. I didn't fall in love with porn, I fell in love with not feeling alone. Loneliness is quiet at first, like a whisper in a crowd, but over time, it grows fangs, and it feeds on your silence. What I thought was sexual hunger was actually spiritual starvation. I was not lustful, I was lost. I didn't know it then, but lust became the drug I used to silence a deeper ache, the ache of not feeling seen, touched, needed, held. It wasn't about orgasms, it was about proof that I mattered. Porn gave me attention without rejection, but it also gave me shame without healing. If you are distressed by anything external, said Marcus Aurelius, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and my estimate of myself, worthless when alone. So I clung to artificial intimacy to avoid confronting real emptiness. I mistook loneliness for weakness. But the turning point was this. I learned to sit with it. No escape, no screen, no dopamine hit. Just me and the mirror of my soul. And in that silence, I didn't find porn, I found God. The Stoics taught me to hunger for clarity over comfort. So instead of watching bodies, I watched my breath. I journaled, not to fix anything, but to witness it. I wrote letters to my shame. I walked without headphones. I listened to birds instead of pixels. In year 1, I rebuilt emotional intimacy not with a woman, but with myself. I started therapy. I confessed my patterns, not to be cured, but to be known. I learned that the absence of affection, isn't a curse, it's an invitation to create it. Year 2 was about bravery, the kind that doesn't show on the surface. I went to coffee shops alone. I smiled at strangers. I cried in public. I deleted every erotic video, not in fear, but in honor of what I was becoming. Lust feeds on your inability to sit with discomfort, and so I sat, I meditated, I created, I cooked slow meals. I relearned my body not as a battlefield, but a temple. Then came brotherhood. I joined a group of men who had nothing to prove. No posturing, no pretending, just raw, sacred honesty. We didn't share victories, we shared weakness. Shame became a sacrament. We cried in basements and prayed in circles. One night a man said, the opposite of addiction isn't sobriety, it's connection. And that night, I knew why I watched porn. It wasn't to feel powerful, it was to feel less invisible. Slowly, I stopped measuring intimacy by arousal. I entered a relationship, pure, slow, sacred. We held hands like teenagers. 1 year passed, and still no sex. Not because we feared it, but because we respected it. Sex wasn't a transaction, it was a transmission. When we finally made love, it didn't break anything, it blessed everything. Because love wasn't built on lust. It was built on waiting, on presence, on patience. Lust is a sprint, but love is a sacred pilgrimage. And now, when loneliness visits, I welcome it like an old friend. It no longer threatens, MIT teaches me. Lust didn't ruin me, it revealed me. It showed me how desperate I was to be touched. Not just physically, but spiritually. In its absence, I met the version of me who didn't need validation to feel valuable. I now see the old urges, not as monsters, but as messengers. Not every craving needs to be conquered, some just need to be heard, understood, and lovingly let go. The deeper truth is this. The love you lose to lust becomes the love waiting for you beyond it. And every time you resist the urge, you are not depriving yourself, you are reminding yourself that peace is more powerful than pleasure. If no one told you this before, let me be the first. You're not addicted to sex, you're addicted to escape. And the cure isn't repression, it's return. Return to your body, return to your breath, return to yourself. Because when you finally meet yourself without distraction, you'll realize you were never broken, just buried. And beneath all that noise was always love.